Listen to me, and listen good, because what I am about to tell you is going to blow your mind and probably make a few green activists cry into their organic soy lattes. You think the internal combustion engine is dead. You think we are all destined to drive silent, soulless vacuum cleaners that hum along the highway while we frantically search for a charging station in the middle of nowhere. Think again, buddy. Dodge. Yes, the crazy uncle of the automotive family, the guys who look at a family SUV and say, you know what this needs? 700 horsepower and a supercharger. They just pulled the biggest power move of the decade. They looked the Grim Reaper of gasoline right in the eye and said, not today, pal. We are talking about the 2026 Dodge Durango. And let me tell you, this thing is not just a car. It is a declaration of war against silence. For a while there, it looked grim. We had the last call models, the tearful goodbyes to the V8, the somber music playing as we buried the Hemi. We all thought it was over. We thought the government regulators, specifically the fun polis over at the California Air Resources Board, or CARB, as we lovingly call the people who want to strangle our exhaust pipes, had finally won. They had banned the sale of the high-performance Durangos in 17 states. 17. That is a huge chunk of the market where you could not buy a proper American muscle SUV because it was too dirty. But guess what? The king is back, baby. And he is legal in all 50 states. Plus one. So, is Dodge returning to internal combustion engines? Returning. They never really left. They just went into the garage to sharpen their knives. The news just dropped that the 2026 Dodge Durango SRT Hellcat, the absolute beast, the apex predator of the SUV world, is now certified for sale everywhere. From the smoggy highways of Los Angeles to the cornfields of Nebraska, you can walk into a dealership and order a 710 horsepower monster that drinks premium fuel like it is water at a marathon. And it is not just the Hellcat. The entire lineup has gone insane. Get this, Dodge has killed the V6. That is right, the Pentastar V6. That reliable, sensible fuel. Efficient little engine that your mom has in her minivan, gone from the Durango. Kicked to the curb. For the 2026 model year, the base engine, the entry-level, I am on a budget option, is the 5.7-liter Hemi V8. Do you understand how insane that is in this day and age? While everyone else is downsizing to 4-cylinder turbos and hybrid setups that sound like sewing machines, Dodge is making a massive V8 the standard equipment. It is like a middle finger to the entire industry trend. Plus two, let us dig into the meat of this, because the specs are where the magic happens. The Durango GT, which used to be the grocery getter, now packs 360 horsepower and 390 pound-feet of torque. That is a jump of 65 horsepower and a whopping 130 pound-feet of torque over the old V6. You are cutting a full second off your 0 to 60 time. We are talking about 6.2 seconds to 60 for the base model. That is faster than most sporty cars from a decade ago. And you can do it while towing your boat and hauling the kids to soccer practice. Speaking of towing, this thing can haul 8,700 pounds. It is a truck disguised as a family hauler, plus two, but wait, it gets better. If you step up to the RT, you are not just getting a badge, you are getting the big boy, the 6.4-liter 392 Hemi V8. This was previously reserved for the SRT models, but now it is in the right. We are talking 475 horsepower and 470 pound-feet of torque in an SUV for under $50,000. Well, maybe a little over with options, but still, you hit the gas in this thing and it does not just accelerate, it teleports. It roars with that deep, guttural American Vosh. 8 sound that makes the hair on the back of your neck stand up. It is visceral, it is rude, it is everything a modern car is not supposed to be, and that is why it is perfect. And then, sitting at the top of the food chain, laughing at physics, is the SRT Hellcat. 710 horsepower, 645 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.5 seconds. Let me repeat that, 3.5 seconds. That is supercar territory. That is faster than a lot of Ferraris and Porsches from a few years ago. In a 3-row SUV that weighs as much as a small moon, the top speed is 180 miles per HR. Who needs to go 180 miles per HR in a Durango? Nobody? Absolutely nobody. But knowing you can, that is the point. That is the American dream right there. Now, you might be asking, hey, expert guy, how did they do it? How did they get these gas-guzzling dinosaurs past the strict emissions laws in California and New York? That is the million-dollar question. Dodge has been tight-lipped, but let us be real, it is engineering wizardry. They likely tweaked the software, adjusted the catalytic converters, and maybe played around with the shift points to just barely squeeze under the legal limits for pollutants. It is a game of cat and mouse, and Dodge just pulled a Tom and Jerry on the regulators. They found a loophole, or they engineered a solution that lets them keep selling the fun stuff. Some people are saying it is because of the political climate changing. Maybe the anticipation of relaxed rules under a new administration. But the engineering work takes years. So this was in the pipeline for a while. They knew we wanted this. They knew the demand was there. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Dodge Charger. We all saw the reveal of the electric Daytona, and the internet collectively groaned. It sounds like a vacuum cleaner. Where is the soul? Well, Dodge heard you. They are not stupid. They know their customer base is not exactly lining up for EV chargers. So, alongside the electric Banshee, they are giving us the Sixpack. Now, Don T, get your panties in a twist because it is not a V8. It is the new Hurricane engine, a 3.0-liter twin-turbo inline-six. And before you start crying about no replacement for displacement, shut up and look at the numbers. The standard output Hurricane makes 420 horsepower. The high-output version, 550 horsepower. That is more than the old 5.7 Hemi and more than the 6.4 Scat Pack. It is a monster of an engine. Sure, it does not sound like a V8. It sounds more like an angry beehive or a European sports car, but it pulls like a freight train. Dodge is playing both sides of the fence here. They are giving the government their electric compliance car with the Charger Daytona, and they are giving the gearheads the twin-turbo combustion engine they actually want. It is a brilliant strategy. They are keeping the internal combustion engine alive by evolving it. But let's get back to the Durango, because that is the real news today. The fact that you can walk into a dealer in San Francisco, the capital of Save the Whales, and buy a 700 horsepower supercharged V8 SUV is hilarious. It is ironic. It is beautiful. It proves that the consumer still has power. If we keep buying them, they will keep building them. The last call for the V8 was a marketing gimmick. Let us be honest. It was the last call for the old platform maybe, or a way to drive up hype and dealer markups. But as long as there is gas in the pumps and air in our lungs, Dodge seems determined to burn it. Now, I have to be a professional here and criticize something, right? I can teach us fanboy over horsepower all day, so let's talk about the interior. The Durango is, well, it is old. The bones of this car date back to the Daimler-Chrysler era. It is basically a dinosaur walking among us. They have updated the screens. Sure, the Uconnect 5 system is great, fast, responsive, looks good, but the plastic, some of it feels like it came out of a Lego set. And the fuel economy, forget about it. If you are buying a Hellcat Durango, you do not care about miles per gallon, you care about smiles per gallon. But seriously, you will be on a first-name basis with every gas station attendant in your town. You will be funding their kids' college tuition. It gets maybe 12 miles to the gallon if you are gentle, and single digits if you drive it like it is meant to be driven. And the price, oh boy, the price. These things are not cheap. A base GT starting over $40,000, a Hellcat pushing past $80,000 or $90,000. And that is before the greedy dealers slap a $20,000 market adjustment fee on it because it is rare. Give me a break. It is a lot of money for a chassis that is old enough to vote. But then again, what is the alternative? A Ford Explorer Saint. Please, that is a toy compared to this. A Chevy Tahoe, big, slow, and boring. The Durango occupies a weird niche. It is too crude to be a luxury car, but too fast to be a normal SUV. It is a muscle car with a backpack. There is also the jailbreak option for the Hellcat. This is Dodge's way of letting you customize the thing until it looks like a bag of Skittles exploded in the factory. You can pick weird paint colors, different stripe packages, different brake caliper colors. It is cool, I guess, if you want your $80,000 truck to look like a Hot Wheels toy. But hey, that is the Dodge aesthetic. Subtlety is not in their dictionary. They do loud, they do brash, and they do fast. Let's look at the broader picture. Is this a permanent return to ice? Probably not forever. The laws of physics and the laws of governments are eventually going to catch up. But for now, for the next few years, 2026, 2027, we are in a golden age of horsepower. We thought it was over, but it is like the encore at a rock concert. The band came back out, turned the amps up to 11, and started playing Free Bird. Dodge knows that their brand identity is tied to the smell of gasoline. They tried to sell us on the electric muscle car idea with the fake exhaust noise, the fratsonic chambered exhaust, or whatever ridiculous name they gave it. And while the tech is impressive, it just does not hit the same spot in the lizard brain as a V8 firing up on a cold morning. That rumble, that shake of the chassis, that smell, you cannot synthesize that. And the sales numbers proved it. The EV market is cooling off. People are realizing that maybe, just maybe, rushing headfirst into an all-electric future was the smartest move for everyone. So Dodge is pivoting. They are pivoting hard. By putting the V8 back as standard in the Durango, they are telling the world, we are still here. They are doubling down on what they do best. It is a risky move, financially and politically, but it is the right move for their fans. And let us be honest, the Hurricane engine in the Charger is a beast too. Inline-six engines are naturally balanced, smooth, and take to turbocharging like a duck to water. The BMW M3 uses an inline-six. The Toyota Supra uses an inline-six. It is a legendary engine configuration. If Dodge can get the tuning right, if they can make it durable, the six-pack Charger is going to hurt a lot of feelings on the street. So, to answer your question, yes, Dodge is back in the game. They found a way to circumvent the strict environmental regulations, likely through a combination of brilliant engineering and taking advantage of the light truck loopholes that the Durango falls into. They adjusted their engine lineup to keep the V8 alive where it matters, the big, heavy SUV, and introduced a high-tech six-cylinder for the muscle car to keep performance up and emissions slightly lower. It is a chaotic time in the auto industry. Ford is doing hybrids, GM is promising to go all-electric, and then backtracking. Toyota is sitting in the corner laughing because they said hybrids were the answer all along. And Dodge is doing burnouts in the parking lot, screaming America at the top of its lungs. And I, for one, am here for it. The 2026 Durango is a relic, a dinosaur, a middle finger to progress, and it is absolutely magnificent. If you have the money and you don't T-mind single-digit fuel economy, go buy one. Buy one before they really do ban them. Buy one and preserve it for future generations, so you can show your grandkids what a real car sounded like before we were all forced into autonomous pods. This is history happening right now. The return of the king, the resurrection of the V8. Just remember, when you are at the gas station filling up that massive tank for the third time in a week, and some guy in a Tesla gives you a dirty look, just rev that engine. Let the Hemi sing. Drown out his judgment with the sound of freedom. Because that is what this is about. It is not just about transportation, it is about freedom. The freedom to be loud, to be fast, and to be a little bit obnoxious. Dodge understands that, and that is why we love them, even when they build cars with interiors from 2011. In conclusion, the reports of the internal combustion engine's death have been greatly exaggerated. Dodge has checked the pulse, found a heartbeat, and injected it with adrenaline. The 2026 Durango lineup is proof that there is still life in the old dog yet. V8s are standard, the Hellcat is 50-state legal. The Charger has a twin-turbo 6. The world is crazy, but at least our cars are still fast. Peace out.